What is up, everybody? Star Wars Dad back for another video. Today we have a super fun deck. I hadn't played this deck before. I had kind of briefly tested it on Force Table, and I just kept getting wrecked by Sabine. And I was like, well, if you can't beat Sabine, then you can't really play a deck. Um, so I saw that it had done well recently, so I kind of looked back at it and paid attention a little bit more to this list and started kind of messing around with it on Force Table and trying to figure out how to beat Sabine, specifically Sabine Green. I mean, Sabine Yellow as well, but Sabine Green, just because of the ambush ability. Um, because we don't have a lot of restore for Green right now, and maybe we'll get some more in the next set. That's the matchup that you have to be able to beat. So I think Colonel helps because you get that subtle life gain with your green spells. Bombing Run is nice to add in because you just um, you just sweep one side of the board, especially if you don't have units in space or something like that. So what I did is, after testing it a bunch, I found out that I really wanted to have what was lacking for me was like you have barrage, but you wouldn't have a unit on the board, so it's like completely worthless. And so I added in Fifth Brother. I can't remember exactly what I took out. I tweaked it so many times. But Fifth Brother has been really, really good because it sets up knockouts. It can actually take out a Sabine by itself pretty easily because it can ping itself, or you can ping it with Vader, or just weird things like that, to set up the ability for it to swing for 5 on its own. Another really cool thing with Fifth Brother is that it makes Force Choke only cost 1. Force Choke makes Force Choke only cost 1, which a lot of times will surprise your opponents because they don't think about that Force Choke is only going to cost 1. So it's been a really good inclusion. Not to mention, Vader hits it off its ability, the 7-drop Vader unit. It's a target for barrage, so it's only doing 4 damage, but when you attack in with it, that means you can do, up to 7 damage with the Fifth Brother. So that's definitely going to kill something if you're trying to kill something, which is what you're usually doing. So you barrage 4 things, you set up knockouts, and then you do 7 damage to one big unit that you need to take out. So it's a really good card in this deck, and it has won me many games in testing. So starting off with the units. So we play 3 Death Star Stormtrooper as our 1-drop slot. Then we have the tie-in fighter. We play 2. Tie-in fighter. So it's cool. Like sometimes we can play real aggressive in this deck. So turn 1 we can go Death Star and tie-in fighter. Other times, if we just have one or the other, then we can, ping our opponent and start setting up knockouts, especially if they've already claimed the initiative. Tie-in fighter also helps with setting up the math to take out weaker units in space, because we can ping them with Vader to finish them off. And then another really good thing about tie-in fighter is with the Vader unit, we can, a lot of times we're looking for like a cell block guard to slow down our opponent, but sometimes, and especially against like mid-range or control, we want to just grab like a bunch of 1-drops. We want to grab like Death Star Stormtrooper, tie-in fighter, something like that, and flood the board. And that's like flooding the board with 13 damage for next turn, which is a really, really good way of, I mean, think about that in terms of like comparing it to U-Wing reinforcement, right? We're getting 4 units on the board from a 7 resource card. That is how you beat control. Like after they wipe the board, right? You're just like, anyways, Darth Vader and 3 cards. So 13 damage for next turn. Hope you have another blast. So that's a really awesome reason to have it in the deck as well. I've gone back and forth with having it in the deck because it is a little weak, but I like the early pressure. It's still a decent barrage target because, I mean, 4 damage is still something. And it also allows us to put in more units on the board so that we're not just sitting there with an empty board and a barrage in our hand. So that's another reason why I have included it. just to kind of help out in those areas. And it really does do a good job of like pinging those red threes and things, right? Because when we play it, we can immediately ping the red three. Next turn, we can kill the red three, or hopefully in a better order where the red three doesn't get to attack first. But either way, it sets up those kind of the situations where it makes things easier to die in space. And space is definitely our weakness because our best card is in space in the main board is Imperial Interceptor. You could play Devastator, but you're not ever gonna play Devastator against aggro, so that's why, you know, it's a sideboard card for me. Um, Two drops we had two Seasoned Shoretroopers. That was three at first, but I really felt like I need to have the third Reinforcement Walker in there. There's just some games where Reinforcement Walker is the only reason I win because I'm just every turn I'm attacking in and gaining 3 life, and it's just keeping my opponent from putting damage because then I'm attacking with Vader and using its ability and killing things, or I'm using my removal spells, and Reinforcement Walker just sits there steadily putting pressure on my opponent while gaining life. We play 3 Viper Probe Droid strictly just to deal with aggro. If there was another 2-drop that had 3 power, that would go in Seasoned Shoretrooper's place. Seasoned Shoretrooper is nice to close out the game to help, but you don't need it. It always feels kind of meh. I mean, you can get it off of Vader, which is nice later in the game, and pair it with a Death Star Stormtrooper. Super Laser Technician's really good in this deck. I feel like this is like one of the best decks for it because you have ramp with resupply as well, and you can use Super Laser Technician. You can kill it anytime with Vader because as soon as you play it, if you play it on turn 3 when you have 4 resources, you can immediately kill it and ramp up into 5. It's really nice to have the ability just to play that card, swing into something, and ping it with Vader too. So it kind of feels great in here. A lot of times against aggro, I want to ramp as fast as possible if they're not doing a ton of damage on the board and drawing like the nuts, because then I can get my Vader unit out or get my big Vader leader out and just take over the game. Consortium is in here because you need it to deal with aggro. You absolutely need that card. You usually are able to hold the initiative pretty well, because, especially against aggro, because they're usually attacking with more units or pinging you with Sabine, or so usually you're able to hold the initiative. So it's very good in here for the matchup that you need it for. Like we already talked about Fifth Brothers, 3 cell block guard is absolutely necessary as well. When we get the Dark Trooper from the next set, that's going to come into this deck and probably replace, I don't know what exactly, but it's definitely coming in here. I don't think we're replacing cell block guard. I think we're just adding another Sentinel. Sentinels are extremely important in this deck. Usually when I'm playing the Vader unit, I'm hoping to hit a cell block guard just to slow my opponent down. Imperial Interceptor we play 2 of. I originally had it at 3, but I felt like 2 was enough, and I had to make room for some other things in the board. Like I really wanted to have Recruit in there, and then I wanted to have Colonel main board just to help us in those aggro matchups to start off before main board in 2 more Colonial Yularens and the 2 bombing runs. So it just felt a little expensive, and I feel like our mid-range control matchup is better, so I wanted to be more main board ready for aggro. 3 Darth Vaders. So obviously Darth Vader's amazing. 3 Reinforcement Walker. Reinforcement Walker, sometimes you get to those turns against aggro where you need it, but most of the time that's not a card you're going to get to against aggro, because usually you're trying to win the game before then, basically on your Vader turn. If you ramp up really fast, you can definitely win even faster, and then Reinforcement Walker becomes better. But you want 3 in here in case you do ramp up fast. Like there's some games where you're like, I need to resource it early, but then you find a Laser Technician and you're like, wow, I can actually get to this pretty quick now. So you want to be able to hit 3 or have 3 in the deck in case you are able to hit it later. Um, and then it's just really, really good against mid-range and control. It's good against everything. But you're against aggro, you're most likely not getting to it because you should hopefully stabilize where you don't need it. At that point, it's just insurance in the games. You're just closing the game out at that point. So Palpatine is great. Again, against aggro, though, you're not really using it. If I were to play, trim things against aggro, I'm most likely going to be trimming the Palpatines against aggro, just because they are, as much as I love that card, like that's not the card I want. I might keep one in the deck just as like a fourth barrage essentially, because you're getting in for 6 damage and barraging, which is nice. I mean, Palpatine's such a fun card, but I'm bringing in Bombing Run Colonel against aggro, and I'm taking out 2 Palpatine. And as far as events, then we're playing 2 Recruit. Recruit is really like later in the game, especially against mid-range and control, like that it finds me the specific units I'm looking for, or it finds me um, a Sentinel or a removal spell with Imperial Interceptor or Palpatine to barrage their board essentially. So it's just, or the Reinforcement Walker because I need to gain life or draw cards. It's just too good to take out. I've thought about it. I just can't do it. Then we have the 3 Force Choke, which is just an incredible removal, and we talked about it earlier. It's great against Sabine, which is our weakest matchup, and then it's great with Fifth Brother because it only costs 1. Same with Darth Vader and Palpatine. So it's just good around, awesome removal. Then we have 3 Open Fire as our other spot removal, which, like I said, works. That card becomes a lot better in this deck because of the pinging with Vader. So you can kind of set up the knockouts for open fire, and open fire is mainly to deal with units in space because we have a lot of ground units and we have ways to deal with them, but in space that's our weakness, so we usually are saving our open fires for the space units. It's particularly good against like Millennium Falcon, Red 3, things like that become a huge problem if we don't deal with them. Then we have our 3 resupply as our other ramp card to go with Super Laser Technician. So it's really cool with this deck to sometimes kind of sneak out Darth Vader with a resupply and surprise our opponents, like after they've done most of their turn, especially against aggro. I mean, against a lot of things, but sneaking out Darth Vader, because Darth Vader is an amazing leader, and it's so much fun to do that like a turn earlier, a couple turns earlier if you've already played a Super Laser Technician, and kind of surprise your opponents. Then we have 3 Overwhelming Barrage, which is like the meat and potatoes of this deck, I want to say. And that's what we've been talking about, like how important it is to have those early units. Overwhelming Barrage saves us. And then we have we have the later Palpatine Overwhelming Barrage as well. So it's just such a awesome card. It's like that's what makes this deck so much fun is those 2 cards in a Vader deck, because you're just like using Vader to ping things, and then you're using Overwhelming Barrage and Palpatine to basically snipe certain things, whatever the threats are that you're not able to deal with your units. Then we have a couple of Traitorous that's mainly in here for aggro. One of my favorite cards to steal with Traitorous, basically like a green A-Wing that's gotten like pumped up 3 times, like with 2 or 3 experience points. Millennium Falcon's great to steal. Things like that. We're usually using it to Fighters for Freedom, just they can't ping us with damage. Basically cards that are a big threat, or ones that have been upgraded a lot. And then this I think that's all the main board, right? Okay, then the sideboard we have 2 Emperor's Legion for control matchups to get back the units that we lost in a Super Laser Blast. We have 2 Relentless to stop their events from doing anything on the first turn, and we have 2 Devastator to help close the game out. I feel like the mid-range and control matchups are good, but you have to have a lot of experience with this deck and a lot of experience in those matchups. Real quick, we are at 488 subscribers, so make sure that you go onto the community page and comment and subscribe on the 500 subscriber giveaway. So that should be happening, I don't know, in the next, by the time this video is released, it should have already happened. So if it hasn't already happened, make sure you go and do that. But it'll probably have already happened. Also, make sure to check out the post game, even if you don't end up watching the whole video. I'm going to go over some of the new cards and talk about some possible cards that would fit into this deck, as well as kind of a mock list, just like as a starting point for this deck once the next set comes out. But let's get into games and see how this deck performs. All right, up against IG88 Green. I have never played against this leader before. We got a Force Choke, a Shoretrooper, Consortium, so no mulligan. Couple Force Chokes. Definitely get rid of Ruthless Raider. And probably just Shoretrooper. Just kind of play more on the defensive side first. To just destroy their units. Shoretrooper, Raider. Okay. So ideally we're gonna Force Choke. Yep. Sure. He knows what's coming. Next, Force Choke, most likely. Well, we'll see. Oof. I like all those cards. I like my hand a lot. The TIE Fighter is nice because you can squeeze it in. The rest of these are more important in this matchup than squeezing in a TIE Fighter right now. And Recruit gets us different units that are more valuable. I'm okay with just playing Consortium here, claiming the initiative. Yeah. Because what we're going to do first is Force Choke. Going to use Vader to kill the other thing. Another Raider. Subblock Guard is good though. Yeah. Again, I'm just trying to get as many things on the boards early. When does this come out? This comes out what, 5, and then it's a, I don't know, let's see, 5/4. Okay, we just Force Choke that. I don't know if that was right. Maybe I should have saved the Force Choke for the leader. Might have been smarter actually. Okay. I'll take my 1, I think. Definitely that. That's going to be an important. The reason I did it like that instead of just killing the Patrol X-Wing is because I wanted to. Oof, so many good choices. Have options. Okay, I think we're gonna let Subblock Guard go. These two cards are just so good. But Subblock Guard does stop in this turn, but Imperial Interceptor kills these. We could play Imperial Interceptor and Death Stormtrooper. And it's tough decisions, but I'll let that go. Take our 5 this turn. I really think I should have kept the Force Choke. I think I made a mistake on that. Okay. He made that fun. Swung in, okay. Sure. Yeah, probably made a couple. Oh wow, that's nice, isn't it? Wow, he got a lot of units out, didn't he? He did not flip over his... I don't understand that. Okay, so we do the same thing here. Are we getting rid of Reinforcement Walker? Palpatine. It just doesn't... Neither one of those feels good to get rid of. Playing 2 units right here feels good though too. But Palpatine can just clean the board up. We're still 2 turns away from those. Some ramp would have been nice this game. Reinforcement Walker if we need to gain life, which is very possible. Okay, at least we can kill things with Vader. We have the initiative. I think we just kill the thing in the air first. We can take out Stormtrooper. Patrolling wing. Okay, he goes. No, he just traded. Interesting. Very interested in that decision, but okay. I mean, he's the aggressor. I guess he's getting up to Vader too. Ramping this game at all? Okay. 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 Or just return each unit in your discard pile that was defeated. Well, that was a pretty epic Emperor's Legion. I still don't understand why he's not bringing out his unit. Okay, I was about to say, like, what is he waiting for? Okay, I don't think we need 2 Palpatines. Man, we are really getting the weirdest hands right now. Yeah, that's a card. It is a card. Palpatine can clear things up next turn, so maybe... I mean, he hasn't put a lot of damage on us. Okay. Cool. He chose not to kill Vader. Oddly. That's fine. Ooh, Consortium might be useful. Palpatine can clear this entire board though. I think we need our life linkers here. We're just gonna play Palpatine this turn, wipe the board out, and then go from there. One, 2, 3. Cool. He played a... What? What is this? I have no idea what this is right here. Okay. We both drew all three of those. It's very interesting. Okay. I mean, Vader just is such an amazing leader. I'm just like gonna everything on his board. And then play Reinforcement Walker and turn the corner of this game. Oh, sorry. My bad. I thought he claimed it. We don't need that. So we go Vader and TIE Fighter. Okay, sure. Then we go Reinforcement Walker. I do want to draw that, to be honest. We are safe right now with life, I think. That's too good of a card to not. And then next turn we can just start gaining. Yeah, that's kind of stinky, isn't it? It's alright. Just off. It's alright, we have Vader too. So once he attacks in, it takes damage. We have Vaders. We can get rid of one open fire. Both of the units we have on board are great, so it's not like it's... Okay. Well, definitely gonna kill this. No, we're gonna heal. Only take 3 damage killing that thing, which is nuts. Open fire. Wait, I thought he had drawn all of these already. Oh, he Emperor, whatever that card is called. Yeah, so this is 4th one this game. All right, Vader. No. All right, we have just enough for 3, so I guess we're just gonna get the 4th 3. And then we're going to open fire the Imperial. And then pass. Don't need that. Overwhelming Barrage is awesome. K2SO is just a, we're just gonna take that out with this. He can make us discard, I don't care. Just lose the Viper. This should be the turn where we finally turn this game around. I definitely made a couple of misplays in this game early that could have sped things up a little bit. What? Okay. We're saving Barrage for a turn, like a turn if he goes really wide. Probably just play Consortium here and just pass. Okay. No, just heal. And just pass. All the Vaders. Oh, we're just keeping all these cards. Just traitorous then, I guess. Seems good. We could still barrage if we want to. We're gonna swing it for game here too, so he's gotta, his next card has gotta be something good. Either way though, I mean we have barrage, like I don't think it matters. Fallen lightsaber, attach it to one of my units. I think, does that just mean he's giving up? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Nice. Nice. Just speeding it up a little bit for us. Appreciate it. Cool opponent. Can take his loss gracefully. Yeah, it was a good one. This deck's fun. Alright, seeing how Palpatine is disgusting, and seeing, I feel like this game is going to last to that turn. And Palpatine can just take out a Fett's Fire Spray. It seems like an incredibly important card. So I think we're actually going to get rid of the two cheap things here. Does that make sense to do? Definitely the Shoretrooper. Maybe one Shoretrooper. I think that makes sense. I don't want to keep too many 8 drops in my hand. I want to be able to play stuff, but you just claim the initiative. Okay. Going for the resupply. Supplies I resupply. So we're keeping Imperial Interceptor or Open Fire here. Or are we getting rid of one of our ramp? I really don't want to get rid of any of our ramp, because ramp helps much in this deck. I mean, this is the one deck where I'm like, I am not getting rid of ramp spells, like the majority of the time. Because getting Vader out is nuts. Vader's, and then getting to Palpatine and Reinforcement Walker too, and the other Vader. It's just all good in the neighborhood, man. I think it's probably, this is tough. I know they have a lot of ground units. It's either Imperial Interceptor or Open Fire. I guess Open Fire. He just played Resupply. Well, that makes it easy. So we can play Super Laser Technician. It dies, we go to 4, we play Resupply, we go to 6 next turn. And then we are almost... Or we just play Resupply, go to 5 next turn. I think go Super Laser. And swing it into one of his units. Play our own Resupply. And then we'll be able to Cell Block Guard too. Well, no, we can't play it at the same turn, but we'll play it the turn after. Or we just play Cell Block Guard, kill Super Laser Tech. I don't... Oh, well, that's the easy choice. Never mind. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Play Resupply next turn. So depending on what he does here, we'll just remember. Yeah, we have a lot of things we could do here. So going face. He just claimed the initiative. Interesting. Very interesting there. Just goes down. Okay, recruit's good, sub-guard's good. So many good cards. All my cards are so good. Alright, so we're gonna be at 5-6. I think we can get rid of... Yeah, I think we're gonna get rid of Death Trooper. We have enough pressure on the board right now. We're beating him 8-0, which is extremely weird against this deck. See what he does here. Okay. Cool. So we swing into... We'll be able to kill that thing next turn. Hopefully. Play Cellblock Guard. He can it, but that's fine. Okay, we take our 5. Sure. Swing in here. Ready. So we can play recruit or resupply here. I think we play resupply, actually, because then, yep. Look at that. Gonna go face, deploy, boom. Yeah. Can't deal damage. We don't have the units. Okay, cool. Disgusting. Now we have Palpatine or Barrage or Open Fire. We have so many options. I think I like it a lot. I see why it did well. I haven't played this deck before. It definitely fits my style. We're gonna keep the recruit. The recruit's too good in this deck for certain situations. Okay, he barrage. That's fine. No, we just play Palpatine and kill him. It's fine. So he does 7 damage. He kills Subblock Guard and Vader. Cool. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, and this is why we want recruit. So we can look at the top 5, figure out what we're looking for, you know? Meanwhile, we are taking over this game. 8 resources. Let's get rid of Consortium. We can squeeze the TIE Fighter in. First thing we're doing is just swinging it for 6, as long as we can. Okay. So he just exhausts both of our things. Okay. And this is where we're... My God, I was about to say this is where recruit is awesome, but I guess not. Good Lord. That ridiculous. Lose the recruit. That's... We've been holding on that card all game for this turn. I swear, man, that's ridiculous. What a What a well-timed cunning. I'm just gonna... Do we care? No, we don't care. If he gets a yes, he did not. Pass. Okay, force choke's not bad. Man, I really wanted to use that recruit. That's why it's in here. Situations, exactly. Are you kidding me right now? Well, we still have barrage. What do you take this time? What did we lose? We took... we lost barrage and recruit now. This is ridiculous. Alright, I think he's out of gas. That. You're getting all of that. You're getting my whole hand. That's 2 turns in a row of that ridiculousness. And this is where the TIE fighters come into play too. Okay, there you go. Pass. I think that's game. Those cunnings though. Boss, sure. Kill subblock card. Face. Yeah, TIE fighters are really good for Vader too. So one of the things I learned about after playing this deck finally is that you can 1-drops with the Darth Vader here. Which is amazing. Because at the end of the game, and specifically you just get like 1 or 2 of these and a Death Star Trooper, and you have literally, like one game I pulled off 2 what are they called? I can't ever remember. Death Star Stormtroopers. I got 2 of those and a TIE Fighter. So I pulled out a Vader and pulled 8 power from my deck. So one card pulled me 13 total power, which is insane. So that is why I'm playing 3 of these. I will never play Vader Green and not play a bunch of 1-drops after realizing that that's how that worked. I don't know why I never realized that's how it worked. It's not like I haven't played this card. Maybe I just didn't read it. Yeah, combined cost 3 or less. I think I just was so used to getting 2-drops and 3-drops that I'd like never put those 2 together. And also there's just not a lot of cards to choose from right now. So actually what this means to me is that Vader's going to get even better when there's more cards, when there's better 1-drops. So just something to keep in mind. But that was a pretty dominant performance. That cunning thing was ridiculous because we probably would have gotten this Vader from that recruit, right? So that's the point of that card. That's why it's in the deck. It makes so much sense in this deck. Because early game, you're just trying to stabilize. Once you stabilize, or ramp, you're just trying to ramp too, this deck. This is just a pure ramp deck, which I love. I love ramp decks because the top end spells are so much fun. But you do not need energy conversion lab. You can just kill your super laser tech or do what I did and sneak out of Vader and kill everything before they did anything. I don't know why he claimed the initiative instead of attacking with his Boba that turn. That didn't really make sense. Because then I just played resupply and snuck Vader out and then killed him. So the sneak attack Vader is a really cool play, like I did, which just happened, you know, in a lucky way. I wasn't planning it, but that is a play because I wasn't expecting him to not attack either. I was expecting him to attack and then play another unit. So I was like, what? But hey, man, maybe he didn't have another unit, or maybe he just wanted to be. All right, up against Leia Red here. So we got Probe Droid, Force Choke, Traitorous, and Barrage, and Recruit. No, so no mulligan. We're definitely gonna get rid of Shoretrooper. It's not good until later. The next question is, are we keeping Traitorous or Barrage? I think Recruit is really important so we can find specific things potentially. Traitorous is great, but Barrage is better. Force Choke is good early, so next turn, worst case, we can Force Choke Recruit. So we'll just fight Sabine. Okay. Gorilla attack bot, echo base defender for a cost. Okay. So they play Sabine, they play Ace. So we kill Sabine immediately, then we force choke echo base. And recruit. Okay. That's our line of play for the next 2 10s. Ooh. That's a really good barrage target. We don't need Viper Probe Droid. That'll be a play. So we can actually ping a thing too. So we go here. First. He plays Echo Base. No, he plays that. We cannot force choke that. So we will change our line of play to 5th brother. Okay. Love that card, but Consortium is better currently. Love the Palpatine is what I'm just going to here. So we can recruit and Consortium here. Get force choke too. It's not the worst thing ever. Consortium establishes a life gain. He could kill us though. Next turn, and we wouldn't live. So he has Leia next turn. Do this though, because I want to set up a barrage. As an we don't need Consortium yet. They haven't done any damage to us, so it's not like an urgent need. Oh my god, we force choked for 1. I totally forgot about that. So we're doing this. And that gives us 2 barrage. Go ahead and attack in here with 5th brother. God, I keep forgetting about that. 5th brother was a card I recently put in. I took out the TIE fighters. As much as I love getting 1-drops off of Vader, we needed a better 3-drop for barrage because that was kind of the weakness in the deck. I think because we have Vader, because we have 2 barrages, these are the cards we want in this matchup. So we can ping this and kill K2SO. I think that's... Or do we just barrage? We don't have the initiative, but Consortium kills Red 3. This becomes 4 damage, that kills K2SO. Okay, so the line that we're gonna go. Take out Red 3. Okay, sweet. Play barrage. See how... Play it here. Make it 4. He kills that. You could make us discard a card. Okay. Yeah, he did. So we'll keep Vader. Just because we need another unit. Okay. Gonna go there. Boom. Awesome sauce. Okay. I think we don't need super laser tech here. Since we are already getting Vader next turn. I mean, I guess we could have technically played it, pinged it, brought out the other Vader, which is bad. but I'd rather get a cell block guard down, kind of have as an option. I mean, we're definitely just killing that. I'm not gonna play around with that. Yeah, we can ping. That's good. And that works too. Easy choice. Okay, now he has to attack in Subbuck Guard and he will die. We would just discard Ruthless Raider if he makes us discard again. Okay, 6-5. Well. Yeah. If he wants us to discard, it's fine. We'll get another fifth brother out, which is exactly why this card is in here. It's already done two amazing things this game. One is kill Raj and kill everything. Two is be a target for Vader. And we can literally take over the game this turn. Go choose a unit. Wow. Isn't that special? Nope. What? Come on, man. With the, I mean, I don't care about that unit at all at this point. We're just going face. We'll put 2 damage on it, but this also has really good synergy with Vader, because I can also ping it with Vader. Yeah, I'm not killing that thing this turn. Okay. So our opponent disconnected. Well, we would have swung in for 3 more, 20, 25, 28. Yeah. So, I mean, we had game next turn. But that was a pretty dominant performance from this deck against aggro. And aggro, I would say, is the weaker matchup for this deck. But I have worked really hard on this list. Like, all I've focused on is making sure I can beat aggro, like, the best of my ability. I think this has a pretty good control matchup. Like, we're fairly aggressive, and we have ramp, and we can wipe the board pretty easily with our ramp and our barrages and our Palpatines, and so we'll see. So far, this deck's been amazing. All right, up against Sabine yellow here again. So for this matchup, I did sideboard in my aggro cards so that I could see how it felt. So I don't need Palpatine. Reinforcement Walker is slow too. So we're off with the Pro Droid, Fleet Lieutenant Falcon, Alliance X-Wing, Ezra. Okay. Cool. Alright. Open fire is good for the impending. We're gonna get rid of that card for right now. I think Falcon is coming out. Just gonna pass. We know he wants to play Falcon. Okay. Yeah, it would have been nice, right? To put that on both of those. Alright, I think we're playing cell block guard. Oof. I like Traitorous. I like all these cards. Sofa card and Recruit is good. Do we need the Colonel at all? No. We're gonna get rid of Recruit as much as I don't want to. I want to keep the card. I'm gonna keep the card. So we could totally just play Colonel or Force Choke here. Turn we trade makes Alliance Wing even better. Or we just steal Falcon, I guess. Next turn. We cannot. He's not playing out the Sabine. He is doing it. Oh. He's not doing it. No, he's not doing it. Okay. I'll take it. Alright, Barrage here for 5. Feels... Or just Traitorous. Or Sobot Guard, Force Choke. So many options. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Because next turn we can go Vader if we do it that way. Barraging, we're only going to be able to kill one thing. Traitors we can take away. Yeah, Traitors feels the best. Probably... Oof. I guess I really like the idea of having resupply next turn. So he's gonna bring out Sabine this. What are we traitorous? Falcon forces him to pay every turn. So the X-Wing. So we don't want to have to pay to keep Falcon. We're gonna race him? I kinda wanna race him. Okay. Yeah, let's just race him. We can resupply next turn and bring out Vader to finish him off. Sure. Can Force Choke and resupply this turn and play Barrage Vader, which isn't bad either. Well, no, we can't do that because it's a resupply. So we get rid of this. Play resupply. What's he put it on? That. Okay. Can we kill that right now? No. We could kill it after we Force Choke it though. We're also swinging it for 8 damage, which is lethal, so let's just kill Sabine and then play resupply. He's going to kill our thing. Interesting choice. Base. Now we just have Vader for win, for the sneaky win. He's swinging with everybody, yeah. So why is it being so glitchy? Disconnected. Good game, good game. But yeah, so I mean when you sideboard in, the matchup better. It felt better. We didn't get any green units. to help with that, but so that's how you do it, though. I think when you sideboard it, the matchup gets a lot better. Up against Sabine yellow again. 30 HP base. No. Oh, I like her hand. It's a pretty aggressive hand. So we're probably getting rid of the two expensive things here. Just going low to the ground and fast. So this is kind of like I made a little more updates. Aggro continues to be a giant pain in the butt. Like it is so hard to consistently beat aggro. So I have continued to put cards in that I think help me against aggro. I don't think we need a second TIE Fighter. Traders is pretty sweet. We just go like this, and then we play open fire. Nice. Not bad. Not bad. So we're just gonna go Sobot Guard. Stormtrooper here, then Traders next turn. Traders that, yeah. Seems pretty good. Could swing into that, I guess. That's pretty good. Let's claim the initiative so we can Traders. I mean, I know he's gonna do the Sabine thing this turn. I should have just attacked in, but it's fine. Force choke is not bad for the following turn, but I think Traders is more impactful. The fact that we're at 8 damage is good. Okay. I'm gonna kill Sabine or Chopper. I like killing the Chopper, to be honest. Okay. Exhausts our Falcon, sure. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's choose a resource to exhaust. Okay. Or he's doing his resource management turn. Believe it or not, because they have 2 HP, I think we're keeping Colonel. Force chokes on the ground, Fleet Lieutenant, and play the Colonel. What just happened? Another one? Oh no, he did sneak attack? What did he just do? Heroic sacrifice, okay. Then we force choke. Lieutenant. Then we swing in here. Swing in. Yeah. Then we do damage to Sabine. And then we pass. If I want to keep, yes, because things that we drew are cheap. Just gonna play Consortium here, I guess, just to start gaining life back. Okay. We can kill that with TIE Fighter. Let's just see what they do first. Okay, so we're killing that. Killing this. Boom. Boom. Yep. I don't think we're resourcing anything here. Okay, well that's a nice draw, isn't it? Let's do Barrage, Vader, and then all 7 go to that. Swinging for 9, 12, 15 this turn. This game's gone pretty smooth. This is like the best you could hope for though, against these decks. Yes. No resource, yeah. Good game. Alright, up against the Being Green. Would I like to mulligan? Oh, we look like we have a good hand. So no mulligan. We get rid of Reinforcement Walker and what? I guess TIE Fighter. Yeah. Going first, we're gonna play Road Droid because it trades with anything on the ground. Can follow up with a Force Choke, or if we have time. General Dodonna, Wing Leader, Battle Ceremony, Red 3. So he's not doing anything this turn, which is great. So we're saving our Force Choke for the turn 3, so we can play 5th Brother Force Choke on the same turn, which is sweet. Ooh, double Force Choke. So forget 5th Brother, we're just gonna resupply this turn. It's a good turn to resupply since they are going kind of slow. Pumps up Sabine. He's trying to delay us killing it. We're just gonna pass. Force him to do something. Okay. Well, I think it doesn't matter now because we should attack him. Sure. Alright. We're on a barrage turn. That feels pretty good. I'm keeping all the removal here. So resupply into barrage is pretty disgusting. We're only going to kill one thing here, but we can kill a second, which is going to be Sabine or Dodonna. Do we wait? I don't know about that. I think we could just kill both of his things. Is pretty sweet. Yeah, killing both of those things feels better, and just the red 3 is all we have to worry about. We're gonna pass first. Okay, so we'll attack in and make him think like, oh, we're just gonna have to take it. He's gonna play Dodonna. Or that, whatever. Take it out, we take 3. Go to 9, most likely. So he just claimed, oh, he did the discard. That's always odd to me when they choose that choice. I think we still want to have barrage as an option next turn, right? Yeah, I mean, every turn is important this early. I hate to get rid of Vader, but we have a unit on the board. He hasn't done anything. And we're in good shape. So yeah, he already took the initiative, so we can deal damage to red 3. Feels good. Okay, so we have the option of barrage here, Imperial here. Okay, we're definitely getting resupply. I think as much as I'd like to sneak Vader out this turn, I think we're okay waiting a turn, putting a lot of pressure on us. And we also have 2 ways to kill their units. Yeah, barrage. Kill both of these, which is disgusting. Feels good. If he plays anything else, we just remove it. Okay, he did not, but we will just ping. And meanwhile, we are doing lots of damage. So next turn we can kill the green squadron. Claim initiative? And we're at 7. We have 2 good units to play. So first thing we just play Imperial. Yeah, I think knocking down Imperial to 2 has felt really good. Because it's good, but it's a little expensive for it to be useful. So he's ambushing in. Cool, I guess. See, to get him to play another unit. Metal Ceremony, that doesn't do anything at all against Vader. We cannot do that. See if he plays any other units. No. So we're just gonna go face and kill. Can't discard a card, so we take 3, we go to 18, but we have lethal on the board. He has no units on. So that was a good one. That one was like a strategic butt whooping. But again, this that is meant to beat this deck. So you have to like sideboard like this to beat this deck. Yeah, it feels good to beat them. Definitely, always feels good because it is not easy. But yeah, this is the way. This is the way. So back for the post game here. Um, so if you notice, I made a couple changes to the original list. So this is so basically what I was encountering when I was playing this deck is like this deck cannot beat Sabine consistently. It just can't. That is its inherent weakness, and that's why, like I said from the beginning, like I ignored it. So this is the list that I would, if you're worried about aggro, which you should be, this is where I got to that makes the most sense for aggro. Basically, you're playing every green spell that gives you restore until we get more. I put in the 2 tie and fighter back in because what that does is it sets up knockouts for Vader. Because you play it on turn 1, you ping with Vader, especially if you don't have the initiative. Also doing the 2 damage sets up knockouts on their space units. So it helps the math a lot. And I think 2 is fine. It also is really great with the Vader unit for getting like 3 1 drops on the board when you play with that card sometimes. So that's cool. We put in the 2 bombing run to deal with this. So basically we took out Ruthless Raider and Palpatine. But the aggro matchup is just really bad. Like you can't consistently beat it. This deck that I have right here is the best set of 50 card, or at least what 50 cards on the main board that I can put together to beat aggro consistently until we get like more force units so that force throws better or force lightning's better. Until we get stronger, just cheap units for Vader that can go toe to toe with aggro. Things like Viper Probe Droid, like a 2-drop 3/3 would be great, you know? Like our own version of Battlefield Marine would be great. I mean, I know, and I'll post some of the new cards while we're sitting here talking about this, like cards that have potential in this deck, but that is an inherent flaw in this deck right now, and it is one that you just bang your head against the wall because you're like, I cannot beat Sabine consistently, and then this is a deck that I'm not playing in a tournament because I'm most likely gonna have a very difficult time with aggro. And the other factor right now is like most people have just the cards to play aggro because of the shortage of cards. So like you're gonna run into a ton of Sabine. And just for a reference point, like I beat Sabine yellow 4 out of 5 times. Sabine Green, I think, is just the ambush. That one turn of ambushing, and then they could they can do things like ambush in a fleet lieutenant, pump up another thing, kill our thing. Um, they can heroic sacrifice their K2SO. They it's just ambush in their K2SO, ambush in their steadfast battalion. Steadfast battalion is definitely a problem. So it's just I think until we have a few better cards in this deck, as much as I love this deck is a ton of fun to play, and this is one that I'm going to be keeping my eye on closely as we get cards that fit in these 2 and 3 drop slots, or just cards that fit better. And I know I can't think of all the names of these cards right now. The ones that I do think have possibilities in this deck. Let me pull them up real quick. Deathwatch Loyalists could be good as a 3-drop. It's a 3/3, so that's probably a and it gets grit, so it gets +1 for each damage. So that card immediately makes sense because it's kind of like Fifth Brother. Only problem is it's not a force unit, but it does have Overwhelm too. So if you use it to kill out other units and then it overwhelms, if you put 2 damage on it, it's swinging it for 5. So that's good math for Sabine. You can ping it. It's a good barrage target, kind of like Fifth Brother. So it does 5 damage at face with barrage, and then when you swing in afterwards, it's doing 7 damage if you have 2 damage on it. So that's a good card. Punishing One in the air is definitely going to be in here. Punishing One is a 3/4, a 3-drop. And when an upgraded unit is defeated, you may ready this unit. So you can swing in with this. Then you kill a thing that's upgraded. So like a unit with a shield or experience. And then you can ready this again. So this is like not only good for being aggressive, but it's also very good for just like being a good defender. And it's got good stats of a 3/4. So that's going to be good against aggro. That's going to be a must in this deck. Um, Carsantin, he's a 5-drop. He's a 3/7. If an enemy unit has a bounty, you may ready this unit. On attack, choose a ground unit. You may deal 1 damage to it for each damage on this unit. That's going to be really good in this deck as a top end card because you can attack into things, and then if something has a bounty, it's immediately ready. And then on attack, if it has any damage on it, which you can bombing run into this thing, which would be really sweet. So you bombing run into it and then make it have 3 damage. So then when it attacks, it's doing 3 damage to a unit, to a ground unit. And then you can also ping it with Vader. So that's a sweet card. Phase Dark Trooper. Phase 3 Dark Trooper is the Sentinel. That's definitely going to come in here. And I'll try to do like a mock list for this video of where these cards could fit in. But I think these cards will definitely help. And then Jango Fett. Jango Fett's just a busted card. It's a 4-drop, 3/6. While attacking a unit with a bounty, it gets +3/0 and gains Overwhelm. So becomes a 6/6 if it has a bounty. And then when this unit attacks and defeats a unit, draw a card. So this card's really good. Kind of see how that fits in with the bounty mechanic though. So there's a lot of options. But that's going to do it for this video. You got to play like this type of list to beat aggro and then sideboard in for everything else. I think this is good too against like mid-range and control though, because then you're putting more pressure on them to begin with. So you can kind of be aggressive with this deck. It's a very good mid-range deck, but you have to be able to beat aggro for this to be competitive. So this is the route I would go if you're going to take it, but you really got to practice that aggro matchup to consistently beat it. So that's my thoughts on this deck. But y'all have a good one and peace out.